Hello everyone, welcome back to my video. So in today's video, we shall learn the further part of the lesson, that is legal provisions on dividend. So coming to the legal provisions refers to the laws, the rules or the regulations or the orders which are to be followed while declaring the dividend by the company. So the first legal provision on dividend is the legal provision on sources of dividend, means through what source a company can declare its dividend. In that first point is company may declare and pay the dividend for any financial year out of the following. That is, company can declare and it can pay the dividend for any financial year either out of its current year profits or out of the profits made in the previous financial year after providing depreciation, or even it can declare the dividend from the money provided by the central or the state government. Okay, so the first legal provision is to declare and pay the dividend either from current year profits or any previous year profits or the money which is provided from central or state government. Then the second point is dividend can be paid out of capital profits on fulfilling these conditions. So the company can pay the dividend out of the capital profits. Now you may be getting a question like, what do you mean by capital profit? Capital profit refers to the profit which results from a sale of capital asset like stock, real estate, etc. Okay, so the profits which are arising from the sale of capital asset like stock, properties, real estate, where the selling price is more than the purchasing price, such profits are called as capital profits. And dividend can be paid out of capital profits, but the conditions to be followed are they are to be always realized in cash, means only cash payment is allowed. If articles of association of the company permits for such distribution, then the company can pay the dividend out of capital profits. And the third condition is it remains as profits after revaluation of all the assets and liabilities. Even after revaluating the assets and liabilities of the company, even then the company is getting a profit, that is the capital profit, then it can make the payment of dividend through capital profits. The third one is dividend cannot be paid out of capital. This point we had discussed in the previous video. The capital which is invested in the company, out of that capital, the dividend cannot be paid by the company. And dividend can be paid out of free reserves of the company, means the company which has maintained in the form of reserve capital, out of that reserve amount the company can make the dividend payment. So this is the first provision which states the legal provisions for sources of dividend. Then coming to the second legal provision, the legal provision for declaration of dividend. In that first point is board meeting. Dividend can be declared only on recommendation of board of directors. So dividend can be paid only after recommending or after recommendation is given by the board of directors. Board meeting shall be called to pass the resolution about rate of dividend, amount of dividend, book closure date for dividend, date of annual general meeting, and bank with which a separate account should be opened to remit the dividend amount. So one meeting is to be done by the board members, and in that board meeting a resolution is to be passed, and what all is decided is, first is what is the rate of dividend and what is the amount of dividend to be paid, that is decided. Then when will be the book closure date for making the payment of dividend will be decided. Then when the date of annual general meeting will be there, that is also decided. And the bank, means the company should select a bank with which it has to open a separate account so that it can credit that dividend to that particular account. Coming to the second point, that is shareholders approval. Dividend is approved by shareholders by passing an ordinary resolution at the annual general meeting. Though the authority of declaring the dividend is with the board of directors, but the final approval is to be given by the shareholders only, that too by passing an ordinary resolution in the AGM. Shareholders can declare a lower rate of dividend than what is recommended by the board, but not higher than that. If in some cases, if the shareholders want to declare a lower rate of dividend than the board of directors which they have declared, they can do so, but they cannot declare the higher rate more than the board of directors. Okay, for example, if the board of directors have decided to declare a dividend of 10%, and if shareholders want to declare a dividend of 8%, yes, they can declare 8%. But if the shareholders want to declare the dividend more than 10%, say for example 11 or 12%, then no, that permission is not given to the shareholders. Only they can declare less than the board of directors declaration, but not higher than that. Once the dividend is declared at the general meeting, it cannot be revoked. Company is not permitted to declare it second time in that year. So once the dividend is declared by the company, it cannot be cancelled. Means once decision is taken to declare the dividend is to be paid. It cannot be cancelled at any condition. Coming to the third point, separate bank account. The company must deposit the dividend amount in a separate bank account opened in a scheduled bank called as dividend account within 5 days of its declaration. So whenever company wants to make the dividend payment for paying the dividend, the company has to open one separate bank account in a scheduled bank. That account is called as dividend account, and it should be declared within 5 days of its declaration. Means the account is to be opened within 5 days after the declaration of dividend. Now again, in separate bank account, few points I have mentioned. Like the first one is listed company. So listed companies are those companies whose securities are listed in the stock exchanges. Here few things are to be noted. Like the first point is notify the stock exchange where company securities are listed at least 2 days in advance of the date of meeting of the board at which recommendation of final dividend is to be considered. Now if the listed company want to list their shares or securities in the stock exchanges, then 2 days before only they have to go and contact the stock exchanges through which the securities are listed. The second point is intimate the stock exchange immediately about declaration of dividend after the board meeting. The stock exchange should be getting information from the company about the declaration of the dividend. Give notice of the book closure to the stock exchange at least 7 days working days before the closure. So information is to be given to the stock exchanges about the book closure date at least 7 days before. Close the register of members and the transfer register. Once the time period is over, then the company has to close the register of members and it has to close the transfer of register. It must use electronic mode of payment like ECS, that is electronic clearing services, or NEFT as approved by the Reserve Bank of India. So for making the payment, it can either use the ECS method or it can make use of the NEFT method, whichever is approved by the RBI. Listed company has to express the dividend as per share basis only. So listed company, they have to pay the dividend according to the per share basis only. Then the fourth point in the second legal provision is prohibition to pay the dividend. A company which has failed to repay the deposit or any interest on deposit cannot declare any dividend on its equity shares. So a company which has become a defaulter or a company which has failed to repay the deposit to its deposit holders, or if it has failed to pay the interest on the deposit of the deposit holders, such companies cannot declare any dividend on its equity shares. No dividend can be declared if company has defaulted on redemption of debentures or payment of interest, redemption of preference shares, payment of interest to financial institution, etc. So those companies which have not repaid the amount to the debenture holders, if they have failed to repay the interest to the debenture holders, even to the preference shareholders or even to the financial institutions, such company cannot pay the dividend or they cannot declare the dividend. This is the second legal provision. Then coming to the third legal provision, the legal provision is for payment of dividend. So dividend must be paid in cash and not in kind. So this is the most important point. Dividend is always to be paid in cash only. Dividend may be paid by check or warrant or by any electronic mode to the shareholder. So the mode of paying the dividend is either by check or through dividend warrant or by even electronic mode of transfer. Then the third point is joint holding of shares. Dividend warrant should be sent to the registered address of the first named joint shareholder as per the register of members, or to such a person at his address as the shareholder or joint shareholders have given to the company in writing. So whenever dividend warrant is to be sent by the company, it is always to be sent to the फर्स्ट नेम्ड जॉइंट शेयर होल्डर. मतलब अगर जॉइंट अकाउंट है देन वो जॉइंट अकाउंट में जिसका पहला नाम आएगा, okay, to the first account holder only the amount or the warrant is to be sent, or else if the shareholders have given any specification name, to that particular name and address the dividend warrant is to be sent. Time limit within which dividend is to be paid: company must pay the dividend within 30 days from the date of its declaration. So once the dividend is declared by the company, within 30 days means within 1 month period of time, dividend is to be paid by the company. Dividend is payable only to the registered shareholders of the company. Preference shareholders are entitled to the dividend before it is paid to equity shareholders as per the terms of issue of preference shares. Equity shareholders will get the dividend from residual profits, that is, after paying to preference shareholders and arrears of dividend on cumulative preference shareholders. So dividend is to be paid only to those shareholders whose name is registered. Okay, only to the registered shareholders the dividend is paid, and always first preference is given to the preference shareholders. Once the dividend is paid to preference shareholders, then out of the residual profits, means out of the remaining profits, the dividend is paid to the equity shareholders. Then if shares are held in electronic form, dividend will be paid to the beneficial owner as per the statements furnished by the depository. If shares are held in physical form, dividend is paid to the shareholders whose name appear in the company's register of members. So if shares are held in the electronic form, obviously dividend is paid to the beneficial owner, that is to the investor. But if the shares are held in the physical form, then whom's name is there, or whosoever's name is there in the register, to that person only the dividend will be paid. Coming to the last point, default. Default in paying dividend in the given time results in punishment to every director of the company. Means if the company or if the director fails to make the payment of dividend, then punishment is there to every director of the company. Then company will be liable to pay simple interest at the rate of 12% per annum during the period when the default continues. And if the company fails to comply with any of the requirement of this section, the company and directors shall be liable to pay the fine. So three types of punishments are available. The first thing is punishment is given to the director of the company, every director of the company. Then the company will be liable to pay extra 12% simple interest as punishment. Then again, if the company fails to pay the dividend amount, then the company as well as the directors shall be liable to pay the fine amount. So total till now we studied three legal provisions. So from exam point of view, the you may get a long answer question on this legal provision. Okay. So all the three types of legal provisions you have to write. Then coming to the next part, that is unpaid and unclaimed dividend. The dividend declared by the company but has not been paid by it or claimed by a shareholder within 30 days of its declaration is termed as unpaid and unclaimed dividend. So here the dividend, if it is declared by the company, मतलब कंपनी ने डिविडेंड डिक्लेयर किया है बट अभी तक कंपनी ने पे नहीं किया है, ओके, और किसी शेयर होल्डर ने आके कंपनी के पास क्लेम नहीं किया है, उसको हम अनपेड या अनक्लेम्ड डिविडेंड करके बुलाते हैं. नाउ फॉलोइंग आर द रूल्स व्हिच गवर्न द अनपेड और अनक्लेम्ड डिविडेंड. सो द फर्स्ट वन इज total amount of dividend which remains unpaid or unclaimed should be transferred to unpaid dividend account opened in a scheduled bank by the कंपनी. मतलब जितना भी अमाउंट अनपेड या अनक्लेम्ड डिविडेंड में आता है वो सभी अमाउंट कंपनी को एक सेपरेट बैंक अकाउंट ओपन करके शेड्यूल्ड बैंक में उधर उसको अमाउंट वो ट्रांसफर करना पड़ेगा, एंड दैट अकाउंट नेम इज कॉल्ड एज अनपेड डिविडेंड अकाउंट. This transfer should be made 7 days at the end of the 30 days within which payment was to be made. In other words, this transfer should happen within 37 days from the declaration of dividend. So as in the previous slide, we saw that the company should declare the dividend, and once the company has declared the dividend, then within 30 days the dividend needs to be paid. और अगर 30 डेज के बाद भी अगर कंपनी ने पे नहीं किया है, then extra 7 days time will be given to pay the dividend. Otherwise, after 37 days means 30 days पहले के और 7 extra days, so दोनों मिला के after 37 days the amount will be transferred to the unpaid dividend account. Then within 90 days of the transfer of amount in the unpaid dividend account, the company is required to put on its website or any other website as approved by the central government a statement which shows the names, last known addresses and unpaid amount payable to each shareholder. आफ्टर 90 डेज ऑफ ट्रांसफर ऑफ अमाउंट, मतलब अनपेड डिविडेंड अकाउंट में ट्रांसफर करने के 90 डेज के बाद भी अगर कोई शेयर होल्डर वो अमाउंट क्लेम करने नहीं आएगा, देन दैट अमाउंट और दैट इंफॉर्मेशन इज टू बी पुट ऑन दी कंपनीज वेबसाइट. मतलब जिस शेयर होल्डर के नाम पर डिविडेंड अनक्लेम है उसका एड्रेस, जो अमाउंट अनपेड या अनक्लेम्ड है, वो सभी डिटेल्स कंपनी को अपने वेबसाइट पर डालना पड़ेगा. Any claimant to the unpaid dividend account may apply to the company for the payment of money claimed. वेबसाइट देख के अगर कोई शेयर होल्डर क्लेम करना चाहता है, then he has to follow the procedure and he has to apply for the company. Any amount in the unpaid dividend account of a company which remains unpaid or unclaimed for a period of 7 years from the date of such a transfer shall be transferred to the by the company to IEPF, मतलब Investors Education and Protection Fund. So जो amount unpaid dividend account में है, and if that amount is not paid, means if it is unpaid or if it is unclaimed by any shareholder for a period of 7 years, मतलब 7 साल तक भी कोई भी shareholder उसको आके claim नहीं करता है, then that amount will be transferred to the IEPF, that is Investors Education and Protection Fund. The claimant of money will have to follow the procedures and submit the necessary documents to get claim from IEPF along with a statement in the prescribed form which gives details of such transfers. मतलब IEPF में ट्रांसफर होने के बाद अगर किसी शेयर होल्डर को क्लेम करने की जरूरत पड़ती है, if any shareholder comes to claim that amount, then he has to follow a particular procedure. He has to submit his necessary documents and then he can claim his dividend from that IEPF. Okay. The next part is interim dividend. Now, before I go with the interim dividend, let me tell you on this unpaid and unclaimed dividend, you may get a short answer question. Like the question may be, give the meaning of unpaid and unclaimed dividend and explain the procedure which is followed in unpaid and unclaimed dividend. That time you have to write all these 6 points along with the meaning. Okay. Then coming to the next part, interim dividend. So first we will see now what is the meaning of interim dividend. Dividend declared by the board of directors between two annual general meetings is called as interim dividend. So जो dividend दो annual general meeting के बीच में declare करता है कंपनी, उसको हम interim dividend करके बुलाते हैं. In simple, just remember, interim dividend is declared twice in a year. ओके, फाइनल डिविडेंड जो है वो हमेशा साल में एक बार ही डिक्लेयर होता है, बट इंटरिम डिविडेंड इज ऑलवेज डिक्लेयर्ड ट्वाइस इन अ ईयर. इट इज पेड इन द मिडल ऑफ द अकाउंटिंग ईयर, दैट इज बिफोर द फाइनलाइजेशन ऑफ एनुअल अकाउंट्स फॉर द ईयर. ओपिनियन फॉर द कंपनीज ऑडिटर्स शुड बी टेकन बिफोर डिक्लेयरिंग द इंटरिम डिविडेंड. मतलब हर एक कंपनी इंटरिम डिविडेंड को डिक्लेयर नहीं कर सकता है. इफ इट टेक्स द ओपिनियन from the auditors, then only it can declare the dividend, I mean the interim dividend. Now coming to the features of interim dividend, the board of directors has the power to declare the interim dividend. So जैसे कि मैंने बोला था, only the board of directors have the authority to declare the interim dividend. Interim dividend is only a payment on account of the whole dividend for the year. मतलब ये जो interim dividend है, this is also nothing but a payment, but it is made twice in a year. company should provide a depreciation for the entire year and not proportionately for a part of the year before declaring interim dividend. So interim dividend डिक्लेयर करने से पहले हर एक कंपनी को अपना पूरे साल का डिप्रिसिएशन भी प्रोवाइड करना पड़ेगा. आफ्टर डिडक्टिंग द कंप्लीट ईयर्स डिप्रिसिएशन देन ओनली द इंटरिम डिविडेंड कैन बी डिक्लेयर्ड. इंटरिम डिविडेंड कैन नॉट बी पेड आउट ऑफ एनी रिजर्व्स, मतलब किसी भी रिजर्व कैपिटल से इंटरिम डिविडेंड का पेमेंट नहीं कर सकता है. Articles of association of the company must authorize the board of directors to declare the interim dividend. अगर articles of association में mention है then only such companies can declare the interim dividend. The board meeting has to pass a resolution for declaring the interim dividend. हमेशा board meeting में एक resolution pass करना पड़ेगा for declaring the interim dividend. The amount to be given as interim dividend must be credited in a separate bank account within 5 days of its declaration. So जो भी amount कंपनी को interim dividend के तौर पर देना है वो amount को कंपनी को एक separate scheduled बैंक में account open करके 5 दिन के अंदर उधर वो अमाउंट उसको क्रेडिट करना पड़ेगा. Interim dividend should be paid within 30 days of its declaration. Then unpaid or unclaimed interim dividend should be transferred to unpaid dividend account within 7 days of the expiry of 30 days of declaration, that is 37 days of its declaration. जो interim dividend unpaid या unclaimed रह जाता है वो अमाउंट कंपनी को unpaid dividend account में 7 दिन के अंदर डिक्लेयर या क्रेडिट करना पड़ेगा. Any amount remaining unpaid or unclaimed in the unpaid dividend account for 7 years should be transferred to IEPF. So जो भी amount 7 साल तक unpaid या unclaimed रह जाता है, that amount the company has to transfer to IEPF, that is Investors Education and Provident Fund account. Okay. So hope you are clear till here. Okay, so let us stop till here in this video. The further part will be continued in the next video. Okay, thank you.